Are you ecom founder struggling with the performance of your Facebook ads? Well, there might be an easy solution. Here's an example of a coaching call I did with one of the clients. Came prepared with the questions: how to test funnels, what ad account structure to use, how to scale, how to evaluate top of the funnel, bottom of the funnel ads. So here are 30 minutes with a guy who knows what questions to ask, and here are all of my responses. Hope this will help you scale your ecom store as well, because there are some serious questions that I'm usually not sharing on Twitter, but you get a glimpse of into what the consulting session with me look like. Enjoy.
So my question is, what do you really think about different offer? Is it like different pricing, or buy one get one, or is it different angle and a different landing page, or like a different funnel? What do you exactly think about by a different offer, or is it totally different product?
Yeah, mainly totally different products, because we recently launched like an allergy product, but we haven't really been able to kind of take it to kick it off in our current ad account. And I know the guys at Obvi, they advocated for this, right? But then the question is also, they run a lot of spend. But I'm curious to kind of hear your thoughts on this, because it's not so much of like different angles, more of like, okay, it's an allergy product versus an anxiety product, which is like a totally different, like, you can make the argument that's a different like pain point, right? A different customer group.
Yeah. So if anything else besides different product, I would say no. But like even with the different product, I think you're still selling to the like pet owners. So I think that not necessarily you need, like if you scaled one product to like 50K and then like you cannot break out with another, then I would say like, okay, maybe let's try it with a different ad account, or like with a different even pixel, or with a custom conversion for that product. But at this level of spend, I don't think so. You having it in a different campaign, I think for a start would be enough.
Okay, got it. And do you know if the ad account like learning, or is there like specific learnings to the ad account, or do you not find that to be true?
Yeah, I mean, that's a very good question. Like, I think that ad account has some learning, but does that affect you launching another product? I think not.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good.
Then the next question is, how would you go about organization of the campaign? At the moment, you said you guys have inefficient ad spend as a problem, and you're not going after new customers. This is the urgent problem, because over time, recurring base would dwindle. So first of all, you need to start excluding existing customers. That's your biggest issue. That's the reason why you have discrepancy between ROAS and new customer ROAS. That's why, because Facebook has a freedom to go after whoever it wants. So in this case, like you want to get the cheapest conversion possible. Facebook wants to get the cheapest conversion possible. And Facebook is going after people that already are familiar with your brand, that already bought. And you did not tell Facebook to exclude those people. And obviously, Facebook is going to go after that. So what you need to do is definitely exclude your existing customers, both with the purchase pixel, 180 days. And then if you guys have Klaviyo or some CRM, you sync the list of all buyers or people who you want to exclude. Let's say maybe it's not historic list of buyers. Maybe it's just people that did not buy from you in the past 6 months. Maybe you think like, hey, if someone did not buy from 6 months from us organically or via email, I'm okay to showcasing an ad. Then you do just exclusions of like 6 months. So first you need to define what you classify as a new customer. Are you okay with your reactivation? If not, then you exclude the full list of buyers and purchase 180 days. If there's a different definition of your new customers, then you obviously exclude just that period.
Okay. Is there why would you recommend 180 over maybe like 3 months instead? Like, is there like a, you know what I mean?
So,
because with our product, it's like consumption based. So I'm just curious as to maybe you have like based on what you run in the past with different ad accounts, like why you would choose certain time periods.
Yeah, so it's mostly a business decision, not necessarily a Facebook ads decision. Facebook ads is just kind of like extension of what business thinks. Usually brands don't want to spend a single dollar on their existing customers because they think like, hey, I already acquired them. I don't want to spend again to reacquire them. It's cheaper for me to reach them via email. But on the other side, some people say like, hey, like I'm in business for 5 years. So if someone bought from me like 4 years ago, but then he did not buy again, I'm okay spending money to get him again to potentially become a subscriber. Then potentially they have a different kind of targets. Also, if you notice that like after third month, your kind of like recurring customers go down. Let's say that like usually after third month people cancel. Then potentially I'm okay with having like ads showcased to them. But what it also makes sense is that you still use full exclusions in all of your prospecting campaign, but then on the side you have reactivation campaign, which is like, hey, people that did not bought from us in the past 2 years, then you can control the budget per that segment. So it's not diluting your prospecting campaign, but you still get the benefit of them reactivating their subscription or buying again.
Okay, so with on this thread, right, you mentioned prospecting campaigns and retargeting campaigns. How would you kind of structure that account? Like, how does that account look like?
So currently you guys have one product, right?
Yes.
You're pushing.
I mean, we decided to, let's just cut spend down and just focus on getting the hero product going. And then we'll introduce the other stuff again. But I'm just assuming with any new products, you'll just be the same structure, it's just in different campaigns now.
Yeah.
Okay.
So first, I would have just one testing campaign. So the thing is, I did notice that you guys have a lot of new campaigns, one for each new funnel. And then within that each new funnel, you have like 20 different ad sets. So the thing is, you want to have one control landing page, one like winning funnel, like not necessarily winning, but the funnel that converts the best. And there,
okay, quick interrupt on the winning funnel. What if we don't necessarily have a winning funnel, like a control funnel, or rather the control funnel isn't doing that good? So we are now trying to test, alternatives to kind of beat that control funnel. How would you then approach it?
Great question. So you want to have one funnel that's converting the best. So basically, one funnel maybe is converting at 2%, the other is converting at 2.2%. That second one should be your default one. So basically, the funnel that's converting the best is the one that you should pretty much test most of your creatives, because that has the highest chance of success. If you don't have that one, but you're actually testing new funnels, what you can do is either set a redirect in the backend so that, like, let's say you have a default funnel and then you have a funnel test that you want to test. And then, like, you set up a redirect. So everybody that are on your main link, 50% of them goes to one, 50% of them goes to second. That way you don't have to create the ads every time you're testing new funnel. And then you observe the data and see which one works better. That's obviously the better.
An A/B test. So your A/B test
in the backend. So that's
what if the assets are very different? Sorry for interrupting. I think it's just I don't want to lose your train of thought here. I think it's really good. If we A/B test but the asset is quite different, what I mean by that is, for example, because we are a pretty direct response driven company, so we run VSLs that only reveals the product section in 30 minutes, right, or 20 minutes in. And so that is the control, and then the variant is something like an advertorial, right, which is quite a different asset. Would you say that because for me, I'm just thinking about congruence, right, in terms of the ad and advertorial.
Great question.
How do you look at it?
So if the funnel is totally different, then what I would do, I would either take my existing best performing 3-4 ads and launch only those ads into new funnel, or I would take some funnel that are congruent to that funnel. I would take some ads congruent to that funnel, and then I launch them. So in both cases, you're testing just one ad set. You're not testing 20 different ad sets. So first way is taking 4 existing best ads and launching them to that landing page. And the second is let's say you build some new ads about that funnel and then testing them with that funnel, because you don't want to test 100 ads with an unproven funnel.
Fair enough. And this is, when you say you launch this, right? So you're saying it's one ad set with for example, 4 different ads going to one landing page within the testing campaign.
Exactly.
And then the testing campaign, the budget is controlled on the campaign level, or is it on the ad set level?
So I prefer on the ad set level, because I want to have dedicated budget per ad set. I want to get data on that funnel. I want to get the data on those ads. Also, when I'm testing new funnels, I would have a new campaign, just because it's easier for me to compare. Hey, campaign 1 is advertorial. Hey, CPMs are way more expensive, but campaign 2 is quiz. CPMs are cheaper, but conversion rate is bad. So we know people are interested in quiz, but the quiz funnel is not converting good enough. So we need to work something on the back end. So I would still have campaign. I would still have campaign per funnel. It's not going to impact performance, but it's going to help you understand the data, if that makes sense.
Yeah, makes sense. So a quick question, right? So if you are, let's say you have that testing. So I'll give you an example. If you have a testing campaign and then I have a VSL funnel and an advertorial funnel, right? I have creatives that I push to the VSL funnel ad set, and then creatives that I push to the advertorial ad set, right? So let's say now I want to test more ads on the advertorial funnel. I'll just throw more ads into this same ad set with the existing 4 ads already and just see where does Facebook allocate the budget, is it?
No, I would make a new ad set with that campaign. Because
make a new ad set within the testing campaign. Okay.
Yeah, but because each time I create a new ad set, it's a new concept. So let's say the first you launch 4 just text on a screen images for advertorial. Then you build 3 new, VSLs again for the advertorial. That would be another ad set. Then you got 4 us versus them images. That would be a third ad set. So basically, every time you're testing a new concept, it's a new ad set, because your goal is not to find one ultimate winner. Your goal is to find a winner within the ad set, winner within the concept. So that way you have multiple winners.
Got it. And sorry, so you mentioned the VSL would be a different campaign, right? So if you're testing in the VSL, it would be a different campaign, or was it just a different ad set is good enough?
So depending, I thought VSL as an ad, but if you think as a VSL as a funnel, then that would be another campaign. So funnel is always a different campaign. Creative or a concept is a different ad set.
Okay, yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
Funnel, different campaign, creative, is a different ad set. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
And then your goal is to try to get as much as possible winners on your control funnel, because if you see that, let's say quiz funnel is working the best, then majority of the creatives that you test, you're gonna test on a quiz funnel. And reality is mostly you're gonna scale with one funnel. Probably you can get to 20, 30K a day in spend with just one funnel.
Got it. And how would you graduate things, right? So from the testing campaign to the scaling campaign, what's the interaction?
Yeah, great question. So I would have a new campaign, but let's say we have just one product, then it would be one scaling campaign, one ad set, and all of the winning ads there, regardless of the funnel.
Oh, one ad set only. Okay.
Yeah, one ad set only, and all winning ads that I move from testing with a post ID, so they keep the social proof. The thing is, that campaign would be running on cost cap. And it would have all the winners. It would be kind of winners of the winners. It would be kind of arena of the winners. I don't care which winner would win there, as long as there is some winning. And why it is on cost cap? Yeah, go on.
Yeah. Sorry, the cost cap is, so there's only one scaling campaign, and in a one scaling campaign, there's one ad set with hundreds of winning ads, for example.
Yeah, but reality, you're not going to have hundreds. You're going to probably have 5 or 10 at the start.
Yeah, that's true.
And then every week you'll get 2, 3, and those 2, 3 you're going to import every week. So basically every week you're going to refresh that winning campaign, winning ad set with new winning ads.
Okay. sorry, talk to me about the cost caps part.
Yeah. So the thing is, I don't want to have my ad in two different places unless it's running with a different audience on a different attribution setting or on a different bidding. Because if we have same ad with the same audience, one is ABO, the other is CBO, it's same shit. So I want to have something different.
Okay.
So what I usually do in that case, I run on 7-day click and with the cost cap. Why with the cost cap? Because not sure if you guys notice that in your ad account, but in majority of my ad accounts, weekend is better performer than the weekdays. And then, then when it comes to the weekend, I never know how much I can scale. Can I increase budget from, let's say, 50 to 200, or can I increase budget from 50 to 1K or from 50 to 5K? But when I have inflated budget, let's say I have some ad accounts where I have like 60K budget, but then the cost cap is constrained. Facebook is not going to spend more if it cannot give me results. So that campaign by itself, it spends 5K on Tuesday, but then it spends 35K on a weekend, but I did not change anything. It just spends more because there's more people active on a weekend on their mobile. They're more inclined to buy. Conversion rate is higher, and Facebook knows it can get me good results. That's why I call that a weekend scaling. And then on Monday, Facebook by itself is going to drop the budget and it's going to again spend like 5K. Although the day before it spent like 50.
And this is for the cost caps, right?
Yeah. And that way you're leveraging your winning ads. And like even if Facebook, let's say you put $50 cost cap, even if Facebook fucked up and gives you higher CPA, it cannot be that bad because you imported only winning ad. You cannot get like 100 CPA for a winning ad. Like there's a reason why you imported to the scaling campaign.
Got it. And quick question on the cost caps. Like, so because I haven't, to be frank, my partner runs most of it, but I took the weekend to kind of like catch myself up. But what would you say? How would you set up the cost cap? Like, what is the target price, and then how would you set it up? Is that on the Adset level?
Yeah, good question. So let's say your AOE is 100, your ROAS target is 2. That means your cost per purchase target is 50, right? So let's say your ad account currently has 70 cost per purchase average in the last 30 days. So if you put 50, probably Facebook is not going to spend because the cost cap is not a magic bullet and it cannot magically give you CPA that you want, right?
Yeah.
So, but let's say your average is 55, right? Then, and your target is 50. Probably I would start slightly conservative. I would start slightly below my target, let's say 45. Because thing is, potentially at the start, it can overspend. So if you put 55, it can get you 65. And then like 65, if it spends the full budget, you wasted a lot of budget. So potentially I would set 45, although I know it's conservative, but I would see whether Facebook would spend. And then if Facebook spends the budget, then I can increase the budget. If Facebook spends the budget, but performance is bad, then I would try to import new ads. But most likely, Facebook would not spend the budget. Then you want to try to increase the bid to try to find a sweet spot. Because your goal with the cost cap is to find a sweet spot where it spends. And when it spends, it gets you good results. So you have nothing out of it that it spent. Let's say you put 3K budget and Facebook spends $100 and it gets you 3 sales with a cost per purchase of 33. That's great, but it spent only $100. You don't want that. You want it to spend as much as possible, as long as it gives you results.
Gotcha.
So your goal would be try to increase that cost cap until you get to the point that it spends, and when it spends, it gets good results. How to actually, like, I usually, as I said, I start conservative and I tweak it until I get to that point. It's different for every ad account. That's why you have to like adjust it $1 or $2 until you get to that point that you are getting good results.
And for the weekend scaling, like, you're looking at, okay, if you have achieved the sweet spot, then you will bump the budget on the campaign level up on the weekends, for example.
No, so the budget, like once I find when it spends, then I increase the budget, and then basically I just leave it on that budget. and it's not gonna, let's say, as I said, I have like 50K budget, but Facebook does not spend that budget at all, let's say on a Tuesday or Wednesday, because it knows it can. So it just spends like, 5K out of 50. But then the Thursday comes, it spends 15. Friday comes, it spends 20. Sunday comes, it spends 50. And then the next Sunday, Facebook thinks I cannot spend, then it spends 12 or 20. Although the last Sunday it spent 50. So it kind of like it does the scaling, like it goes ups and downs. You have spikes, but I'm okay with that because at the moment, like I know it's messy because it goes ups and down, but I still have my testing campaign, which is running on regular bidding. And there I keep increasing the budget in testing as long as it works. So it doesn't happen that like I'm dependent on cost cap. Let's say my budget is 2K, but then like cost cap does not spend and then there's no revenue. So basically I keep increasing the budget in testing as long as something is working. So sometimes in some ad accounts, testing campaign is the highest spending campaign just because I had so many good tests that I keep increasing the budget.
Got it. And do you manage the ad sets, like the creatives in the ad sets? If like you find a winner, do you turn off the rest, or like what's the approach?
No. So basically, I just turn off the ads that are bad. So let's say we said that every new ad set is a new concept, right? I'm a fan of ABO, but if you guys don't have a high hit rate of the new creative tests, then it probably makes sense to keep with the CBO. So let's say you launch 10 tests a week, you get only one winner. Then if you do ABO, you're going to probably lose a lot of budget, right? But if you launch 10 tests, you get 3 or 4 winners, then me scaling every individual ad set in an ABO would allow me to scale as much as possible. And it will allow me to scale faster.
And you'll turn off the losers. So in the 3 winners, within the winning ad set, you would also just leave everything on, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're only turning off the losing ad set.
Yeah, basically the one. I mean, I turn off the losing ads as well. But if something is not spending, I'm not going to turn it off. I'm going to turn off something only if it's spending, but it has bad ROAS.
Okay. Got it. Okay. And then maybe let's talk about the next part about like creative testing structure. Like what's that workflow like when you work with some of these like bigger brands, right? Like how are you guys kind of having that weekly cadence of, hey, let's test new concepts for creatives, and also at the same time, I'm sure that there could be improvements on the funnel level, you know what I mean? Like how do you kind of approach that conversation?
Yeah, so those are 2 different things. So funnel testing is like, as I said, in most cases, every client has one funnel that 90% of the traffic leads to, and they try to improve that funnel either with an offer testing or like some tweaks on the CRO side. That's one thing. If they want to test different funnel, as I said, they either set up a redirect in a backend, let's say 80-20, let's send 20% of the traffic to this new landing page and then observe how it performs, or they take existing ads, as I mentioned, and launch them to the new funnel and then just observe the performance. Those are 2, the funnel testing. Creative testing is always happening within the main funnel campaign for testing creatives, where each new ad set is a new concept. So let's say if we have 10 new concepts, we have 10 new ad sets. Each has multiple variations.
Okay, and are you doing like 3-2-2? Like what's kind of like the approach now?
I'm testing only creatives. So basically, let's say we have unboxing videos. I would have one unboxing videos with 3 different hooks. It would have 1 ad copy, 1 headline, and 1 landing page. Because my goal is to
one video, three different hooks in the video, right?
Exactly. And then
because
my goal is to find a winning
everything
variation.
else is 1.
Yeah, because Facebook told us that creative has 56% impact on the performance of the ads. So I always want to test creatives first because that can give me the best results.
Okay, I see. Okay, and then I'm guessing you're not turning on any of the Facebook's recommendations, right?
I turn off everything. Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay, so okay, that's interesting. So one video, 3 different hooks in the video, and then everything else like headlines, body copy is just one, and
Exactly.
then turn off all Facebook's recommendations.
Exactly.
And then let's talk quickly about exclusions. When you talk about excluding existing purchases, like what's that? Is it so on the pixel level? And then you mentioned Klaviyo just now. Like, how does the integration work? Like, how are you linking both Klaviyo and Facebook?
Yeah. So basically, within the in Klaviyo, you can add Facebook as an integration, and then you create the audience of, let's say, all people that bought from me in the since ever.
Okay.
And then you
Okay,
have
great.
option sync to the ad account. And when you click that, automatically the audience appear in the ad account. And then you select that ad account and you exclude it on the Adset level. Plus you exclude those purchases from the pixel. So basically you have 2 different audiences excluded. It's kind of like double protection.
You exclude on the Adset level. Sorry, what do you mean by exclude on the purchases?
So within the Adset, you have option include audience or exclude audience. You click exclude and you pick those 2 audiences. So you're telling Facebook, hey, Facebook, go after everybody that's not in these 2 ads, that's not in these 2 audiences. Because you don't want Facebook to go after your existing customers. You want Facebook to go after new people.
So that's the only exclusion we need to set in the ad set, and then we're good.
Yeah.
Okay, great. And I think the last question is more of like a logistical question in terms of like tracking day-to-day performance for ads. I saw your audit; it was pretty helpful. Like, how are you kind of looking at, tracking this, like this Excel sheet that you sent, like this screenshot, like how are you, deriving this data and yeah, just curious.
So what you asked me, like Triple Whale is more a business tracker. Like how much we're spending on each channel, what's the MER, what's the blended ROAS, what margins do we have. My sheet is like specifically for Facebook, where I track spend, CPM, CPC, click rate, cost per add to cart, cost per checkout, purchases, ROAS, AOV, and conversion rate. So that gives me insight like, okay, what's happening every day? Hey, ROAS is down, but then client tells me, hey, like ROAS is down, but nothing changed. But then I actually check and I see that conversion rate went down. Why it went down? Because we turned off the sale, or like in your case, we launched a new funnel that's performing very bad. So that kind of like helps me spot the trends.
Okay, and all this is in platform data. It's all Facebook's data, right?
It's all platform data.
And you're manually tracking them, like you're copy and pasting this.
Yeah, or my VA.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or your VA, okay.
Yeah,
so we can pretty much do the same as well.
Exactly. Like you input 5-6 numbers and the rest are automatically calculated with the formula.
Sorry, first, which numbers?
So I input some of the numbers and the rest are calculated by formula, because like CPM is, relationship between the spend and impressions. So you don't have to like copy and paste CPM, because if I copy and paste spend and impression, it can automatically calculate CPM.
Any chance we can buy as part of maybe you can book another call and we get an Excel sheet from you.
I can share you that sheet. I can share you that sheet, no worries.
That'll be great. That'll be so great. Okay. Cool. Very good. Very, very helpful. I think we have a lot to work on. Any last advice that you give? I want to be respectful of your time as well, but any last advice you give? I
have another call. I think that like we covered a lot now, and like I answered all of the questions. Obviously, if there's a need for additional call, you can always book in my Calendly. I'm gonna wait until the recording is processed, and I'm gonna share the recording invoice, and I'm gonna share this tracking sheet of mine, and we'll be in touch over an email.
Sure. Just send over the details. I'll have it handled. It's late for me, so I probably might.
Yeah, no worries. I
might wake up and handle it. Okay. All right. Thanks so much, Warren. Appreciate you, man. All right. Speak soon again.
See you. Bye-bye.
If you're an ecom client spending at least $50K a month on your Facebook ads and you're stuck, you don't know how to scale. Every time you try to scale, performance drops. Then reach out for a consulting call or a free audit of your ad account, and let's fix the mistakes in your ad account, and let's scale your store and put it to the right track without Facebook ads roller coaster performance. Cheers.